Index card a day, number 7. A tutorial, Bloom by Creative Katie. Take time to subscribe to my channel and you won't miss any videos. So I start out with my repurposed flashcards, my teacher ICADs, and I've applied a layer of gesso, white gesso, and now I'm using my Dilutions paints in the lime, the green, and the London blue, and I'm just blending the colors till I get something that I like. So these are my newest edition Dilutions. It was a pack with stencils and stamps, and I bought them today and I need to use them today. So I'm stenciling using the same colors as the 3 colors on the bottom on the top, and this just leads to making it look very cohesive. I want this to look very flowery and summery. That's what I'm doing. And I'm cleaning off the paint from the blending tool. And I find if I wet it and press it down onto a cloth that it comes out relatively well. Then I afterwards throw it into water and soak. And this seems to increase the lifespan of these. I did not do that initially with some of my first ones, and they did not stay nice. So I've got out my StazOn's black ink, and I'm stamping the stem and the flower on to the ICAD. Now, initially my idea was to apply gesso to the petals and paint the petals of the flowers, and then I thought, okay, no, I can stamp it onto jelly prints and print it out. But some of the flowers were segmented, so they would literally fall apart. You'll see what I mean in a minute. So I've stamped several on a couple different jelly prints, and I'll be using some of them and not all of them. So what I'm doing is I'm cutting them all out and placing them with matte medium in place on the flower. It's a piddly job. I think maybe next time I will try painting with the gesso, which was my initial idea, but I didn't want to lose the line work. But as I ended up having to really add it afterwards to make it stand out, I don't think I was any further ahead. Using jelly prints gives you a lot of texture and a lot of detail and shading that you really can't recreate in any other way. So I've decided to stamp another one down lower, and here's my attempt at masking off part of the stamp. I really need to work on that. That's not something I can do yet, but I will keep watching those stamping videos. So then I pick a different color jelly print that also looks good on the background. I think I have every color now by now. So I stamp on there and cut it out and adhere it with Mod Podge or matte medium. So I'm just simply cutting them and placing them, getting a start where I'm starting and continuing. I did cut out the middles, but I'm going to swap the middles on them. There I'm trying to put it in and I can't seem to do it because I didn't quite fussy cut well enough. So the flower petals are done, and went and got some of my green jelly prints, and I try one, and it's, as you'll see, it doesn't stand out too much on the card. I want something a little bit darker without having to go and repaint it. So I go back to my green folder in my big blue box storage system and stamp again the leaves and cut them out of this darker paper. Just a sneak peek that shows that I've used an old phone book to do my jelly prints on. It's a lovely thickness of paper, so it's a good use. So back with the gel medium and adhering the leaves in their spaces. Trimming the flowers. I'm kind of liking the card. It's really a nice pop of color. Very happy card. I'm using my Posca paint pen to color in and put some highlights onto the leaves. I pretty much redo that later. The stem didn't get as dark as I wanted it to, so. My Stabilo all pencil, just outlining all of the flower petals and leaves. And now I'll activate it with a little bit of water on a fine brush. This really makes it stand out from the background and moves everything forward. Getting out my Neocolor 2s, and I'm trying to get some green on the stem, but again, it's not dark enough. So back to my favorite Inktense blocks, and yes, absolutely dark enough. Just got out my micron pen, and I'm just going over the detail work that was in the stamp that kind of got lost. Make sure that everything is dry. All the products are dry before you use your micron pens, or you'll be buying a new one. The other thing that I noticed that if you've used a heat tool recently and it's still warm, the pens don't like that. So I wait for it to cool down. Just printing on with pencil the word bloom, and I'm just going over it with my white Posca paint pen and thickening it to make it stand out. It's not quite dark, so you'll see me come in with my Uniball Signo white. It just gets a little bit whiter. Add some white splatters to make everything tie in, the white that's in the words. And then I decide to do kind of a squiggly line, dot, 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 squiggly, dot, 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 all the way around. So that little bit of doodling seems to finish the end product. I'm tying in the white of the letters of the bloom. You need to have white somewhere else. You need to have a reason. So I decide that the word bloom doesn't show up quite enough, so I'm just going around it with my black micron. This is a 0.05. Thank you so much for watching. Come back for ICAD number 8.